This is another episode of Standup Comedy, your host and MC, celebrating 40-plus years on the fringe of show business. Stories, interviews, and comedy sets from the famous and not so famous. Here's your host and MC, Scott Edwards.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special treat for you this Wednesday. One of our bonus shows, I had a chance to connect through an old friend. You've heard comic Bruce Baum on this podcast many, many times, one of the best in the business. And back in the day, he did an album called Born to Be Raised, and on that he had his hit single, Marty Feldmanize. We were working musically with a very talented producer-musician. He is also an actor. He was in the movie Mrs. Doubtfire. He made a couple appearances on the TV show Nash Bridges. He is a violinist and just came out with a book. We're going to talk about it now. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the one and only Dick Bright. Wow.
That's Mr. Dick Bright to you, sir.
I am so sorry. Mr. Dick Bright, you are now an author.
You know what we always say, Scott, if the dead fans are the deadheads, my fans are the dickheads. So on that note.
To all the dickheads out there, this is for you.
Yeah.
Hey, you've just written a book called Working for a Living, the subtitle, Making It in the Music Biz. And I've had a chance to read a little bit about it and talk to Bruce about it. The music business, much like the comedy entertainment business, can be really difficult to make a living. But if you have a passion for it, you find a way. And my understanding is you tell that story in this book. Can you explain to my listeners a little bit about Working for a Living? The book's coming out this weekend.
Well, here's the deal. My dad was a public school music teacher in Los Angeles for 45 years at the same school, played weddings and bar mitzvahs on the weekend. Hardest working white man in show business. And this book is dedicated to him. It's a pay it forward. It's a really tough business, and it is the music business. So I've been gigging for 45, 50 years, and I wanted to say, do as I say, not as I did. I'm trying to help young musicians figure out a path to make a living. You go to Berklee School of Music, it's $60,000 a year. You're in debt. What are you going to do? You don't want to work at, McDonald's. You want to play music. So everyone wants to be a rock star, but that's not likely to happen, at least not right away. So the book is the different paths. You can teach. You can play in the symphony. You can play on Broadway. You can play wedding bands. You can be in tribute bands. So it's a lot of it is very practical, useful information that you will not get in, public education or college. Yeah. For example, I say if you got to have booze on stage, drink vodka because it looks like water. You will not hear that from your junior high music teacher.
Great advice.
One of the other things, loving your show, by the way, is I brought a lot of comedy. I've always enjoyed to laugh. I enjoy making other people laugh. A lot of musicians take themselves very seriously, and that's cool. That's not me. So when I met Bruce Babyman Baum in college, we just hit it off. Met him years later. I have my musical family, and I have my comedy family. I backed up Robin Williams. Bob Saget was, I'm name dropping now, very dear friend, played a lot of music with Bob. Did all the music for his Showtime special in the Dream State. Bruce and I are just, he's the greatest. So whenever he has a musical idea, he gives me a shout. And, usually it's a really bad idea. And then we go on to the next thing.
Well, I'm going to interrupt you, Dick, and just go back a bit because I think it's interesting that the music business is a lot like the comedy business. There's the one percenters, the Jay Leno's, the Seinfelds, the rock stars you're talking about. And then there's all the other people in the industry. In the comedy side, some people become showrunners, some are writers doing the cruise ships, there's doing stage shows, there's doing theater comedy. So much like stand-up comedy, where once you have the talent and the passion, you can find a variety of vehicles to find success. Your book is helping people, kind of like a dummies book to musicians, right?
Very much so. The nicest compliment I got is from one of my best friends, who's one of the funniest cats on the planet, who was in Sacramento for many years, Mr. Jack Gallagher. And he said, Dick, I read the book. A lot of this stuff could apply to comedians. There's a lot of useful information about what it means to be a professional, how you conduct yourself on the gig. Be early, be on time, be kind to, be nice to every other act, because, you might be on the way up, but when you're coming on the way down, better be nice to everybody all the time. So
that's such great advice. Jack is right. I've written a couple books about being a stand-up comic, and that's the same kind of information. Treat everybody as you want to be treated, because we're all in the same entertainment community, and we want a chance to share the experience with people that have a similar passion as us.
Exactly. So this book is all about helping aspiring musicians figure out a way to make a living in the music business and not have to do something they don't like, So that's kind of what the book's all about.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, go to Amazon. It's going to be in bookstores. It's called Workin' for a Livin'. It's authored by Dick Bright. He's a producer, an actor, a musician. He's really done it all in the entertainment business, and it's just so great to have you on the podcast and talk about it. Dick, what's the thing you're most excited about in sharing this book?
Selling books and making money. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, it's good to be honest, because we all write books to hopefully pay for it. But
you know what? This book, and I got godfathered, mentored by Joel Selvin, pop critic from the Chronicle. He has 12 amazing books on rock and roll history. And he said, dude, write the book. It will open up all sorts of doors. And if anything, it's reconnected me with so many of my old friends. That has been honestly, that's been the best part of this.
Well, we're so excited to be sharing this moment, not only with our audience, but with you, Dick. Much success with your new book. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. There'll be a full interview with Mr. Bright coming up in a future date. But right now, get a chance. Check out the book, Workin' for a Livin', Making It in the Music Biz. It's available on Amazon, bookstores. Dick, it published recently, right?
Yeah, published recently. We're on Amazon. I'm in several stores in the Bay Area. Quick plug, June 15th, 6 p.m. I'll be at Green Apple Books doing a signing and bringing musicians on all the signing. And then June 26th in the East Bay, wonderful store called Pegasus on Solano Avenue in Albany. We'll be there 7 to 9. I'm bringing 4 incredible musicians, and we're just going to have fun.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, trying to make those book signings, be sure to check out this book. It's Dick Bright, one of the best in the music business. Thanks so much for being with us today. That's been our special show. Ladies and gentlemen, Dick Bright's one of the best. Thanks for joining us on the podcast, Dick.
Thank you for having me. Looking forward to the full shot.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Stand-Up Comedy, your host and MC. For information on the show, merchandise, and our sponsors, or to send comments to Scott, visit our website at www.standupyourhostandmc.com. Look for more episodes soon and enjoy the world of stand-up comedy. Visit a comedy showroom near you.